Hello, David here, and the project for today is an oil change on a 2007 Prius. This is a Generation 2 model. You'll know you need an oil change when the maintenance required idiot light shows up on your dashboard. I don't know when it's programmed to turn on. I don't know if it's every 4,000 or 5,000 miles. I'll just have to wait it out after I reset it to find out. The engine should be warm when you change your oil because warm oil flows better, and also the contaminants are suspended in warm oil. So we'll start off by removing the oil filler cap. Oil filler cap is right here. Ow. Jack the car up and place it on a jack stand. You can either jack up the right passenger side or jack up both sides so that the front is up in the air. And set the car down on a jack stand. Make sure the jack stand is on a strong support place of the chassis. You will find the oil drain plug right over there. And you'll find the oil filter not far. Right there. Use a 14mm wrench to remove the oil drain plug. Sucker's on tight. Come on, baby. I need a breaker bar to get this thing off. I do. I think they had a sumo wrestler working at the Toyota dealer. Okay, here we go with the breaker bar. That made it easy. There we go. Let it drain. Clean any dirt or particles off of the drain plug. Also, it's a good time to replace the washer that's on the drain plug. Got that? Focus. And since the drain is on the right side of the vehicle and I jacked up the right side of the vehicle, I don't think I'm going to get all the fluid. So I'm going to move the camera out of the way and I'm going to take the car off the jack stand and set the car on the ground so it's level to get all the dirty oil out of the pan. I'm getting a good bit of oil draining out of the pan after I leveled the car, so I recommend doing it to get all that dirty oil out of there. If you're not sure of the location of the engine and the oil filter and the drain pan, here's a shot from the Haynes repair manual. There's the drain pan and the plug. There's the oil filter. Wipe the drain clean with a clean rag or towel. And install the drain plug and tighten. Okay, let's turn our attention to the oil filter. Oh, well, that's on hard. Oh, wow. They must be using impact wrenches to put everything together. Yeah, expect a big flush of oil. Make sure the gasket comes off with the filter. If not, it means it's stuck to the engine block. And that could cause an oil leak if you put on an oil filter with the gasket already stuck to the oil block. Can you see it right there? You can see it's free of a gasket. Get a clean towel and clean up the engine block where the oil filter mates with the block. Got a Napa Gold 1394 filter, not a sponsor. I like to prime the filter as long as the filter is in a vertical position. Prime the filter by adding oil into it, because when you first start up the motor after an oil change, the filter is dry and you got the engine running without oil pressure. So this way you get a couple of more seconds of oil pressure, because the filter has to fill up before it circulates the oil. Give it a minute to settle. I'll just fill that up. Also, I'll take some fresh oil and lubricate the gasket. I want to have a lubricated gasket. What you're supposed to do is spin on the filter till it touches the block, and then add 3/4 of a turn. But in most cases I can't always get my hand in there, or the filter's oily. So I do the wrench, even though they say not to use a wrench to tighten it. I just don't get it gorilla tight. That should be good. Okay, time to fill this up. This holds 3.9 quarts of oil. This is Valvoline 5W30, not a sponsor. And this holds 5 quarts. So 3.9 is almost 4. That means there should be a little more than 1 quart left when I pour it in. So let's start pouring. Make sure it's not flowing out of the tunnel and overflowing out to the valve cover. So you got to kind of meter it in slowly. Look at that golden goodness. Okay, I've got about 3 3/4 quarts in there. It was coming up to about here when I put it on a level surface. What I want to do is put the cap on. Yeah, don't get oil all over the place. Put the oil filler cap on. There's a drip right there. You want to start up the motor and let it run for a few minutes, and immediately go to the underneath of the car. Make sure that there's no oil gushing out, because if there is, there's a problem. And then shut it off and wait about 10 minutes, and then check the oil filter, not the oil filter, check the oil level with this here dipstick. And then adjust accordingly. You don't want to overfill, that's bad for the motor. You have the crankshaft ramming into a crankshaft full of oil, that won't be good. And you don't want to underfill it, because then you have oil starvation and you prematurely wear out your motor. The motor's running and I don't see any oil gushing out. Everything looks good. If you do see oil gushing out, you got to stop the motor immediately and find out what's wrong. Okay, now I'm going to stop the motor, going to level the car, wait about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to check the oil level, see where I'm at. Don't forget to update your maintenance log. Got the date, the mileage, what I did, and any other notes. I put a note in there that I checked the air cleaning filter, and that looked good. Okay, the motor's been sitting for about a half hour. Check the oil level on the dipstick. Car is level. And the oil is coming up right about 1/16 inch shy of that top hole. So that's about as close as I want to be. Can't get any closer than that. Car doesn't burn any oil, so probably never going to use a quart till the next oil change. Okay, don't forget to recycle your used motor oil responsibly. I want to reset the maintenance required idiot light. And to do that, make sure the odometer is in the odometer mode and not in the trip mode. And it is in the odometer mode. Turn the ignition off. Press the odometer trip button while turning on the ignition and keep holding the button until it resets. You know it resets when the odometer went from 00000 back to the 91,069 miles. I'm going to turn it off. Turn it on. The maintenance required should flash for a second or two just to show the system is working. As you can see now, the system has started up and there's no maintenance required light. So that's all it takes to turn off the maintenance required light, and this is for models up to 2009. On 2010 it's a different sequence, and this happens to be a 2007. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe.